Rootabaga Stories by Sandburg, published 1922. Chapter 3. How the 5 Rusty Rats Helped Find a New Village. One day, while Wingtip the Spick was visiting her 4 uncles in the village of Liver and Onions, a blizzard came up. Snow filled the sky, and the wind blew and made a noise like heavy wagon axles grinding and crying. And on this day a grey rat came to the house of the 4 uncles. A rat with grey skin and grey hair, grey as the grey gravy on a beefsteak. The rat had a basket. In the basket was a catfish, and the rat said, "Please, let me have a little fire and a little salt, as I wish to make a little bowl of hot catfish soup to keep me warm through the blizzard." And the 4 uncles all said together, "This is no time for rats to be around, and we would like to ask you where you got the catfish in the basket." Oh, please. In the name of the 5 rusty rats, the 5 lucky rats of the village of Cream Puffs, please don't, was the exclamation of Wingtip the Spick. The uncles stopped. They looked long and deep into the eyes of Wingtip the Spick and thought, as they had thought before, how her eyes were clear light blue, the same as cornflowers, with blue raindrops shining on the silver leaves in a summer sunshower. And the 4 uncles opened the door and let the grey rat come in with the basket and the catfish. They showed the grey rat the way to the kitchen and the fire and the salt, and they watched the rat and kept him company while he fixed himself a catfish soup to keep him warm, travelling through the blizzard with a sky full of snow. After they opened the front door and let the rat out and said goodbye, they turned to Wingtip the Spick and asked her to tell them about the 5 rusty lucky rats of the village of Cream Puffs, where she lived with her father and her mother and her family. When I was a little girl growing up, before I learned all I learnt since I got older, my grandfather gave me a birthday present because I was 9 years old. I remember how he said to me, "You will never be 9 years old again after this birthday, so I give you this box for a birthday present." In the box was a pair of red slippers with a gold clock on each slipper. One of the clocks ran fast, the other clock ran slow. And he told me if I wished to be early anywhere, I should go by the clock that ran fast. And if I wished to be late anywhere, I should go by the clock that ran slow. And that same birthday he took me down through the middle of the village of Cream Puffs to the public square, near the round house of the big spool. There he pointed his finger at the statue of the 5 rusty rats, the 5 lucky rats, and, as near as I can remember his words, he said, they marched out on the prairie with their baggage and belongings in sacks on their shoulders, and a blizzard came up. Snow filled the sky. The wind blew and made a noise like heavy wagon axles grinding and crying. The snow came on. The wind twisted all day and all night and all the next day. The wind changed black and twisted and spit icicles in their faces. They got lost in the blizzard. They expected to die and be buried in the snow, for the wolves to come and eat them. Many years ago, long before the snowbirds began to wear funny little slip-on hats and funny little slip-on shoes, and away back long before the snowbirds learned how to slip off their slip-on hats, and how to slip off their slip-on shoes, long ago in the faraway village of Liver and Onions, the people who ate cream puffs came together and met in the streets, and picked up their baggage and put their belongings on their shoulders, and marched out of the village of Liver and Onions, saying, "We shall find a new place for a village, and the name of it shall be the village of Cream Puffs." Then the 5 lucky rats came, the 5 rusty rats. Rust on their skin and hair, rust on their feet and noses, rust all over, and especially, most especially of all, rust on their long curved tails. They dug their noses down into the snow, and their long curved tails stuck up far above the snow, where the people who were lost in the blizzard could take hold of the tails like handles. And so, while the wind and the snow blew and the blizzard beat its icicles in their faces, they held on to the long curved tails of the rusty rats till they came to the place where the village of Cream Puffs now stands. It was the rusty rats who saved their lives and showed them where to put their new village. That is why this statue now stands in the public square, this statue of the shapes of the 5 rusty rats, The 5 lucky rats with their noses down in the snow, and their long curved tails lifted high out of the snow. That is the story as my grandfather told it to me, and he said it happened long ago, long before the snowbirds began to wear slip-on hats and slip-on shoes, long before they learned how to slip off the slip-on hats and to slip off the slip-on shoes. "Oh, hey," said one of the uncles. "May," said the other 3 uncles. "And sometime," added Wingtip the Spick, "when you go away from the village of Liver and Onions, and cross the Shampoo River, and ride many miles across the upland prairie till you come to the village of Cream Puffs, you will find a girl there who loves 4 uncles very much. And if you ask her politely, she will show you the red slippers with gold clocks on them, one clock to be early by, the other to be late by. And if you are still more polite, she will take you through the middle of the town to the public square and show you the statue of the 5 rusty lucky rats with their long curved tails sticking up in the air like handles. And the tails are curved so long and so nice you will feel like going up and taking hold of them to see what will happen to you. Keep an ear out for next week to listen to chapters 4 and 5 and sleep well. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share your thoughts below.